Hey guys, there we go. That was a backing track I put together for you guys for this lesson. All right, my name is Andrew Doucette. I'm from Guitar Gravity, and in this week's episode, we're going to look at an important skill that we need to add into our practice time. I think it's the most important skill you need to develop on the guitar to really allow the music to sink in and to allow the creativity to burst forth. So that skill is called improvisation. All right, before we dive into that, I want to let you know that if you want to get that backing track for this lesson, I have a link for you down below. And so yeah, just down below in the description of this video on YouTube, you can grab that. And that way you can take the concepts from this lesson and jam through the concepts. And that's how you're going to build the skill of improvisation, is by jamming in your practice time. So make sure to grab that backing track. It's very important. That way you can really apply the concepts that we're going to look at today and just internalize it and just get things going. And welcome to this week's video. Make sure if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. And that's, we can interact that way. It's because it's a live video. Make sure to drop those questions. This is a different topic, improvisation. It's a little more complicated, but it's something that will just take time to internalize and to learn yourself. So what is improvisation? Essentially, when I started playing guitar, or as I got better throughout my teenage years, I would learn how you typically learn. I would learn a solo from a song I was learning, say like Crazy Train, and then from there, or if I learned a new scale or learned a lick from that song or just whatever it was I was learning, I did a lot of just jamming. I would just sit down and doodle on the guitar for hours. I wasn't always just playing, like jamming through the songs. I was just more like learning the concepts that I was learning. And essentially what I was doing was improvise. I was taking those concepts and just playing with them and getting used to like hearing where I wanted to go with the concepts I was learning. It's all great to learn, your favorite solos or your favorite riffs, but if you're not asking questions like, what scale is used in the song, or what key is the song in, or how can I apply the scale to my own guitar soloing? If we're not asking those questions and practicing those things, then we might not be able to internalize it. So that's what improvisation really allows you to do, is make things up on the spot. It's going to help you with your creativity. It's going to boost that area, that creativity. Going to help with your rhythm. As you're used to jamming more, you're going to get used to just feeling the beats and how to get the notes in and out of those beats. So a lot of benefits to improvisation. It's one of those things you got to feel. I'll try my best to explain some concepts, but really where the rubber meets the road is taking that jam track, jamming through it, and over time you're going to build your ear is going to get better, and you're just going to build that muscle memory more in your playing. Hope that makes sense. So let's just dive in. So that was that backing track. I just wanted to show what improvisation sounds like. I didn't have anything scripted in that solo. I was just improvising. I was taking a scale and just hearing where I wanted to go with it. So I'm just going to break down some concepts I was thinking through, and then I'll share some ways to focus your attention and how to work on improvisation. So our tried and tested true scale is the E minor pentatonic scale. So that's what that riff was in. It was in the key of E, standard blues progression. Now I'm just going to pull up the positions for you so you can see what I was thinking through. So if you see on your screen there, we got some blue dots. So that's the 7th position. That's really the starting point. And this is actually one of my favorite positions. It's not your typical one. Usually we go for the 12th position scale position. But yeah, just look at those blue notes, and this is what you'll get. what I've done there is I've added if you look at I've outlined the next positions by different colors. So if we look at the 12th position or the 10th position, I'm giving you the notes of the 12th fret. So I'm giving you the notes there. And then if we look at the 15th position, I have yellow dots for you. So let me just, there, we see each other again. There you go. So what I've done there is I'm showing you and I'm outlining from the 7th position all the way to the 15th position. And I like this way of learning the positions, the ones I'm showing you right now. I mean, you can learn all of the positions along up and down the neck, but I like this area because, well, once we get these notes down, the next way to look at, to help you memorize it, is to help you figure out the notes of the 10th position. The notes of the 12th position here, all the notes are all on the same fret. So you see those red dots. So you don't have to think about which fret. It's just all those notes are on the 12th fret. So that's going to help you figure out the notes of the 10th fret, of the 10th position. And then at the 12th fret, we get our tried, tested, and true minor pentatonic position. Okay, so that's the scale. That was my game plan. That's all I had going was, okay, I'm going to use this scale. And when I'm thinking through improvisation, I am essentially I know that these positions very well. So a really great way to practice is going in and out of these positions. So one way that you can practice that is to slide. So for example, if I'm in the 7th position, I can slide that note and that'll get me into this position. And I can go back to the 7th position. So that's just a way to help you navigate your improvisation. Think about sliding. It's a way to help effortlessly get through the positions. And another thing I'm thinking about too is it's a mathematical way to think through things, but when you're thinking about improvisation, you can almost think mathematically, because I like to think in patterns. So if I was, for example, doing a 4-note pattern like this, I have options. I could repeat that pattern going to the next string. I could also just shift it to the next position and do a group of 4 notes. So that's how I think. I think in patterns like that. And I'm also thinking about how I can utilize all the positions by sliding. And then from there, I'm trying to leave room in between my notes. I want to play some things that are fast, some things that are slow, some things that are in between that. And that's just going to really help shape the notes that I'm playing. So let's jam again. This time when we're playing through, I'm going to give you the time to just play through. The first time through you can play, and then the second time through I'll play. And just really don't think too much about it. Just look at those notes you have there and just start playing whatever is coming to you. And we'll take it from there. See how that goes. So let me just play that track again for you. This is your turn. Awesome. Hope that was helping you just unwind a bit, loosen up. So again, grab the backing track and you can practice more with that after this lesson and really get used to improvisation. So another thing to think about when we're improvising is to have a focus. So like I said before, when you're unpacking the songs you're learning, or you've learned a new technique, for example, like you've learned how to do some sliding, or you've learned how to do some hammer-ons and pull-offs. Every time you learn something new, grab a backing track like this and jam over it. Just look at what you've just learned and spend 20-30 minutes with that backing track. Keep looping it and just play through the notes. See what you can come up with. Try not to copy somebody else. Just try to internalize what you're playing, what you've just learned, and just allow yourself to feel the notes, play through it. And over time, you're going to be internalizing this concept, and it's going to help you understand, like, oh, and it's going to build your confidence too. You're going to be like, oh, this is something I'm doing. This is a lick I just came up with. This is a pattern I just thought of. It's going to help you build that confidence in your playing and feel like you're saying something, you're creating something. That's what's really important here. So another way that we can approach this to make this practical is we're going to go through the backing track again, but this time let's have a focus. So our focus for this time around, let's think about bending. So let that be our focus. Let's jam through with those notes and allow yourself to improvise and focus primarily on bending. So let me just pull up the notes again for you, and I'll get the track going right here. Here we go. Great. There you go. So if you guys have a chance, I would love to hear what you're coming up with as you're working through these concepts with the backing track. If you have a chance, I would love to hear what you're coming up with. So record yourself on your phone and over the backing track, and go to the Guitar Gravity on Facebook and send the video to me. I would love to hear what you're coming up with. You can also just reply to the email to Andre at guitargravity.com. Send me a video. I would love to see what you're coming up with. Feel free to ask any questions too. I'm here to help you guys get to that next level. So this time around, let's allow our focus to be something different. So what comes to mind is sliding. So we talked about that earlier. Right now, let's let our focus be sliding. Let's go through that track again. Here we go. Awesome. So the last thing I want to focus on is rhythm. So rhythm obviously is a huge component to filling the notes, making some great music. And rhythm, again, is one of those things that just takes time. So the more you're listening to your favorite songs, start thinking critically about what you're hearing. Oh, what is this rhythm? Is this, rock rhythm? Is this pop or like a Latin rhythm? Just look at those things and think through them. Go on Google, handy old Google, and search things and find more about rhythm. Try to understand it better, and that's going to help you internalize the concepts. So just to break down the theory behind this solo, this backing track, we're hearing this pulse right now. So we're hearing this 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the pulse, the tempo of this piece. It's not too fast, it's not too slow, so it's what we call like a moderate tempo. So right there, what we're hearing, another more technical term, so it's a tempo, but it's not that we can count like 1, 2, 3, 4. From there, I can think, if I just move my hands a little quicker. If you notice, if I was playing that pulse, a 1, 2, 3, 4, if you notice, I have my hand going up as well. That's interesting, right? That upstroke is outlining. Naturally, we're already doing it without realizing. We're getting those offbeats. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1. Okay, so let's just demonstrate that. So we have our pulse. And my hand's already naturally doing this upstroke, and I'm just going to add it in. So that's just an intro to rhythm. We're looking at that pulse, and we're just dividing it up in groups of 2. And just really, when we improvise this time around, think through that rhythm, really focus on it, and just see if you're able to come up with other rhythms. Just really focus on it and just see what happens. So here we go. Here's the jam track one more time. Great. There you have it. Improvisation. Make sure to grab that backing track. It's down below. Links down below in the description. You can just take that, practice, and your practice time, jam through that backing track with those concepts. So, focusing on rhythm, focusing on different patterns, focusing on the scale positions, sliding, adding in some bending. And that's really the framework for improvisation, is just to sit with the things you're learning, internalize it, and then just try to let loose. Just feel it, just have fun. And the more and more you do that, you're learning you're internalizing and building that toolbox of licks and ideas. It's just going to help boost your creativity. And I really think that's the secret sauce to getting better on the guitar and really standing out as a musician is, because we can all look at these great guitar players online, and there's a lot of them out there, and we can just, learn these licks and these ideas, which is great. But if we're just repeating those licks from other people, we need to, practice the skill of improvisation, and that's going to really help us shine through and come out with our own ideas and really just shine out and being allowing your voice to come through on the guitar. So that's really my hope for you. Really want to encourage you. I know this is a kind of it's an abstract concept in some ways, improvisation. There's a lot of questions, I'm sure, and I have a lot of questions too. I'm still learning, It's really just a journey. Improvisation is just something that will take time, but it is just something that we need to just sit back and remember, like just to sit down with our guitar, just to play, really just play it, and just not just just remove distractions, turn off the phone, just focus on the notes you're playing, let loose and have fun. And that's really going to help build your rhythm, build your creativity, and just allow you to be a better musician, a better guitar player. So before I head out, for those that are like, awesome, this is great content, and I want to even go deeper than the backing track and the concepts from today, I really want to encourage you to grab this freebie I put together. It's really help you on your sweeping technique. I put together a PDF and some patterns for you. So it's a little bit more on the intermediate advanced level. So again, feel free to grab that if that's where you are in your guitar playing and you want to challenge yourself. So link is down in the description. And thank you for tuning in. Share this video with your friends. Get the word out there. Make sure, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Guitar Gravity. That way you won't miss a thing. And again, grab the backing track for today's video. That'll plug you into the community more. You can get some awesome emails and more bonuses. So thanks again. Thanks for all your feedback, and looking forward to another video next week. Same time, same channel.